Gothitelle fires off the rock side, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield, and it is Golem time. The opponent switches out into public enemy number 1, and this is going to be the most beautiful sight you will ever see. Wall face straight in and straight out. Back out comes Altaria, and Golem says, if you want that work, my God, am I about to give it to your ancient power. Gonna hit him with that bang. There it is. Shout out to the GOAT, Oxford U, for that quote. So welcome back to the channel. This is one of them rare occasions where I'm actually struggling with what to say, because today's battle submission from Moises, apologies if I've pronounced your name wrong, is incredible. We're not only featuring the newly released Shadow Gothitelle, we've also got the buff Pokemon that everyone's forgotten about, Shadow Golem. Not only does Golem look like a human wrecking ball, it actually performs like one as well. There are so many one-shots in this video, and I cannot wait. Rounding the team off, we've got another buff Pokemon with Aquatale Quagsire. We're going to keep the intro short and sweet. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead Gothitelle into Altaria. The entire team has that clutch rock type coverage. We farm up, fire off the rock side, forcing a Protect Shield. You can see Gothitelle isn't all that bulky, but these confusions are really chunking. Big bad bulky Altaria. We shield up the Sky Attack, fire off rock side number 2. This will either knock out or force the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent is now all shields down, and it is Golem time. The opponent actually makes a very savage catch the ancient power onto the basic bitch tin can, but undeterred, Moises is going to be able to continue to farm up. We're going to shield up the potential Focus Blast. The opponent doesn't bait with a Zap Cannon. Golem can now farm up all the way to 100 energy. Earthquake, going to be massive overkill. The first big boom incoming. Get that Reggie out of here. Out comes Shadow Swampert. We're double weak to water, but Swampert also going to be straight in and straight out. Earthquake secures the one shot. Back out comes Altaria, and the opponent very rudely top left, denying Golem of a full sweep. Oh, hello, Toxicroak. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. And what's even nicer is public enemy number 1. Golem, due to the ground rock typing, completely walls this stupid tap nonsense Pokemon. Moises farms up, fires off the Earthquake, goes for the undercharge. Golem secures yet another big boom. Back out comes Toxicroak. We fire off the ancient power. The opponent gonna crap their pants, putting up that Protect Shield. I've got no idea why you'd shield, as we've got Gothitelle. Moises gonna shield up the incoming Mud Bomb. Toxicroak gonna get free shot by confusions. The opponent then sends out Wish Daddy Cash. Moises farms up to the Psychic Baits with the rock side, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then bank some energy and send out Quagsire and enter the Mud Boy Mirror. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fire off the Mud Bomb, then opt to go for yet another Mud Bomb. Moises says, I'm going to save that Protect Shield. Knowing it doesn't knock out, we then farm up to the double Aquatale. Aquatale has been buffed, but Wish Daddy Cash, pretty tick. The first one doesn't knock out, but the second one certainly will do. Toxicroak is so low. Quagsire is going to Mud Shot farm down, and we're going to take that game. My gosh, we're only 2 battles in. I'm already struggling to keep my composure. This team is so destructive. In the next battle, we see a bit of a tricky lead. Of course, Gothitelle isn't going to fancy tanking the X-Scissor, but likewise, the opponent certainly won't fancy tanking the Rock Slide. We are down a Protect Shield. We're instantly going to get it back, and just look at this confusion damage. We see the save switch into Quagsire. The Quagman is essentially the only Pokemon on the team that can tank any charge moves. Moises tanks the X-Scissor, returns fire with the Aquatale. Aquatale does secure the knockout. The opponent then enters the Shadow Quag Mirror. This is a matchup where Aquatale is going to come in very handy. You can see Aquatale with the Mud Shots is pretty much going to 2-shot. I don't think this quite knocks out, but is going to leave the opponent incredibly low. The opponent invests their final Protect Shield on the CMP side. Moises going to save his final Protect Shield for Golem. We actually pivot back out into Gothitelle, looking to force the energy. The opponent fires off the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb doesn't get the job done, and the opponent sends out Registeel. Holy, we're going to see another Tin Can get one shot. The opponent does get the lock-on farm down. We can now send in Golem. Golem looking absolutely primed to sweep. Of course, we're going to respect the potential focus blast. The opponent fires off the zap cannon, looking to lower our attack, but no attack drop. We'll be saving this opponent. Golem farms up to 100 energy. Get that tin can off my screen. Back out comes the Quagman. We're going to fire off the Ancient Power, which of course is resisted, but Golem doesn't care about type-ins, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle, we see yet another Altaria. The entire team not particularly bothered by this flying pest, as all three have a super effective charge move to chuck at it. We fire off the rock slide, gaining ourselves early shield advantage. Moises looking to play the one shield out. The opponent fire off the sky attack. We're going to be able to outpace to the next rock slide, and ball is in the opponent's court. Do they want lead, and are they prepared to invest their final protect shield? The opponent does invest that final protect shield, and we send out Golem. Are we going to shield a potential Moonblast? We look to call the bait. The opponent full sends the Moonblast, and despite not getting same type attack bonus, ouch, that hurt. Moises fires off the Ancient Power, securing the knockout. The opponent then sends out the silly electric fish. These sparks are double resisted, but it doesn't look like we're going to reach an Earthquake. We fire off the Ancient Power for some very solid chip damage, already getting Lantern below half health. Unfortunately, our Quagman isn't running Mud Bomb, but the Mud Shots will certainly put this thing into Stone Edge range. The opponent fires off the Surf, which is an easy tank for the Quagman, and the opponent then sends out Licky, far too thicky. Moises farms up 6 Mud Shots and makes a very savage catch. Stay in school, kids, and learn to count. It takes 12 licks to each body slam, so if you're using a 2-turn move, it'll take the equivalent of 6 fast moves. Moises sends back out the Quagman. Stone Edge doesn't quite do half of the opponent's health. Quagman rapidly running out of HP. We see Moises burn the final protect shield. Moises now looking to overfarm. We fire off the Stone Edge. Is Stone Edge enough to knock out? No, it's not. We do get the Mud Shot farm down. The sparks are resisted. Quagman reaches the Stone Edge. Is Stone Edge enough to knock out? Yes, it is. The Quagman gets into the big boom action, and Moises pulls off a very well played dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death, which is the instant pivot into the Quagman. The opponent farms up some energy, attempt to make an Aquatail catch onto Serperia. Moises shows great composure, holding his energy, fires off the Stone Edge, doing around half of this silly Serpent's health. It's very nice to bait this thing out here, as Golem has one of the worst defensive typings you could possibly have. We're double weak to grass, double weak to water, as well as weak to fighting, ice, ground and steel. Lots of things to be looking out for. Moises shows no respect to the Frenzy Plant, and Gothitelle actually tanked that a lot better than I was expecting. Gothitelle is incredibly low on HP. However, we are going to shield this move up, knowing we're going to get a Protect Shield back off Talonflame. That's if they know the moveset. Rockside does force a Protect Shield, and it is Golem time. Golem completely walls Talonflame, and we also win CMP. Does the opponent respect the damage? Holy, Golem claims yet another victim. But unfortunately for us, as I was saying, our defensive typing is dreadful. The opponent's got Meta Channel in the back. The only win con is the opponent looking to shield flex. They smartly shield up the Earthquake, and we're going to take a heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, we see another Charger Bug in the lead. Of course, we do need to be mindful of the X's there, and this time we see Moises farm up and make an immediate catch, banking the energy. X's doesn't do all that much damage. The opponent then answers our Quagman say switch with Lantern. Trainer? This is without a doubt one of the strangest counter switches I have ever seen. Although we don't actually have Mud Bomb. Trainer, are you cheating? Are you using a Discord bot? We farm up a boatload of energy, baiting a potential Earthquake. Moises then shows great counting, throws the next Stone Edge on the CMP tie, and we've now forced both Protect Shields. And you already know when shields are down, Golem is certainly going to go to town. Moises sends it out, throws 6 Mud Shots and catches the Surf back onto Gothitelle. What a play. Moises is absolutely cooking today with this incredibly spicy team. The opponent then sends out Gligar, and Gligar is greeted with the Psychic. Gligar is incredibly thick, and that did so much damage. The opponent fires off the Aerial Ace, securing the knockout. It's now all about energy management. Moises again farms up, throws the Ancient Power on the CMP side. Ancient Power, not the best move, but still secures the knockout. Back out comes Charger Bug. Charger Bug gonna be straight in and straight out. Golem is running rampant. Holy, the opponent's only got the Silly Electric Fish remaining. Moises safely gonna shield up the double super effective Surf. return fire with the earthquake. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but Golem sweeps the entire team. GG's and let's fucking go. In the next battle, we see a fantastic lead. Gothitelle into Metachan. The opponent throws at really poor timing, throwing the Ice Punch on alignment. Moises says thank you very much for the free confusion. We then overfarm, fire off the Psychic. Gothitelle gets in on the big boom action, securing the knockout. Out comes Steelix. This Steelix is actually running Thunderfang as well, which is very advantageous when it's going to get aligned against our Golem in the endgame. The opponent pivots out into the mighty Blue Mouse and they're instantly greeted with the Stone Edge. The opponent's only thrown 5 bubbles. That can only be an Ice Beam. We see Moises easily survive that. We then overfarm, fire off the Stone Edge. Stone Edge won't quite be lethal as this annoying Blue Mouse is so bulky. The opponent fires off the Ice Beam. We're going to see Moises save both shields for Golem. Out comes Golem. The Mud Shot takes him out before even one bubble does register. Out comes Steelix and we now find ourselves in the bait game. The opponent still has 2 Protect Shields, 2 high behind Moises. Looking to kill a poor defenseless cat, going for a cheeky masturbating session. The Ancient Power forces the Protect Shield, and this time we're going to full send. Does the opponent respect the damage? Oof. Golem temporarily denied of its big boom, but Moises still with 2 Protect Shields, 2 high behind and the opponent firing off. Double resisted, non-stab Thunderfangs. So we're going to reach the next Earthquake and we're finally going to get rid of this Steel Snake and secure the dub. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see some shadow on shadow crime. The fast move pressure is all with us, but Gligar far outpaces. The opponent farms to the dig. Moises says send it if you dare. The opponent baits with the Aerial Ace. We then see the simul swap of the Quagman into Registeel. Despite not having Mud Bomb, this is actually a win in the Zero Shield. Straight Aquatail, which is quite funny to be honest, as Aquatail used to be a shit move and now it's pretty good. You're going to see Aquatail will free shot with the residual Mud Shots. We're already at the double once again. Quagman generating energy at an alarming rate. Moises actually overfarms a bit too much, or perhaps that's actually intentional. We might want a Mud Shot farm down with Golem. That's exactly what we do, and I like this play a lot as Golem now has a running start. Out comes Swampert. Moises farms up to the Earthquake, goes for a very risky Ancient Power bait, forcing a Protect Shield. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want some top tips on masturbating, get in contact with today's featured battler. My God, is he landing some baits. Again, we're going for the bait. There's no shot, they shield. The opponent does invest that Protect Shield on the CMP tie. Moises going all in on Golem. We need to be mindful of the potential catch. The opponent doesn't make that catch. It's going to be high Swampert, bye Swampert. Get that Swampert out of here. Back out comes Gligar. The opponent going to be forced to throw. They're going to be unable to wing attack farm down. Golem reaches the Ancient Power, which isn't quite lethal. We then go for that wham bam combo play, serving up the Big Mac and the fries. Gothitelle fires off the rock side and Mosef pulls off another incredible dub. GG's. In the next battle, we lead Gothitelle into Vigoroth. A pretty nice matchup for us, as due to our mono psychic typing, we are going to resist the counter damage, although this monkey is very, very spammy to the body slams, only taking 5 counters to each one. Moises farms up, fires off the rock side, goes unshielded, then look to snipe with the Quagman. Unfortunately, the opponent, on literally an invisible HP stat, fires off the departing body slam. The opponent then sends out Sandslash. What is going on? If your best answer to an energy lead Quagman is Sandslash, is this like a double steel backline or something? Surely they haven't got like Bastion in the back. Would that team make any sense? No, it wouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Moises says, you can have the Quagman. Because surprise trainer, we've got another ground type and this one is even more oppressive. Moises, of course, going to shield at whatever the opponent throws, as both charge moves would be super effective. Golem gets a very nice running start. And there it is. Oh, hi, Lantern. Nice to see you. Nice, Moises. Full sends the Earthquake. The opponent looks to call the bait. And they get one shot vanquished. Back to their Pokeball. Heading into the next battle. We see Gothitelle into Knockdown. Of course, we do need to be mindful of the potential Shadow Ball. Likewise, the opponent isn't going to fancy our Rock Side, especially not with our Shadow bonus. Moises shields up. These confusions are doing crazy damage, knocked out, incredibly thick. I wouldn't be surprised if this rock slide knocks out from this range. The opponent invests that protect shield, and Moise is happy to play the one shield out of Sky Attack. Isn't quite lethal. What a play. The opponent attempt to catch the rock slide. Moises holds his energy, shows cat-like reflexes, and then enters the Quagman mirror. I know a lot of other content creators don't like to show battles when they're below rank 20. But holy cow, is Moises putting on a clinic today. His fast move timing, his counting has been immaculate throughout. Moises knows he tanks any move. The opponent fires off the mud bomb. Moises looking to save his shield for Golem. Once again, counting absolutely on point. We saw one CMP, so Moises farms up, throws on the CMP tie and goes for a beautiful undercharge. This is going to allow Golem a very nice run and start. I don't know why I call it Golem. Is it Golem? Is it Golem? I don't know. But what I do know is this thing is fucking ruthless. Back out. Comes knockdown, about to get knocked out of the sky. The opponent's final Pokemon is Lantern with one Protect Shield, 2 high behind. This is GG's. Moises looking to be a showman. Attempts to make the catch unsuccessfully, but under turn. Earthquake gonna be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Someone the other day commented, I need to forget how to speak English when I was impersonating Callum on Toast, and don't worry, we all do it. That was a prime example. In the next battle, we see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death, we see the safe switch into the Quagman, drawing out Metachan. Once again, hopefully we've drawn out Golem's hardest counter. The opponent is on Power Up Punch. Do we care? Certainly not. As we're actually going to force a Protect Shield here. If the opponent wants alignment, the opponent shields the first Quagsire. Moises says there's plenty more of where that came from. We fire off the next Quagsire, which gets Metachan quite low. You see Moises stops tapping, wanting this farm on Gothitelle. Another very heads up play. The opponent fire off the Psychic, even boosted, is an easy tank. We're then going to pivot out into Golem. The opponent, has Unova Stunfisk. Certainly not what Golem wanted to see. Can Golem sweep once again? We're getting some lag as well. Game, please work. It looks like the game's had enough of Moises running rings around his opponent. We get some lag. Moises now going for a very risky bait. Once again, we land the bait, which is going to mean we're going to outpace to the big boom. Holy cow, Moises, you are on crack. Earthquake secures the knockout. Back out comes Talonflame. Can we survive a charge move? We resist everything. The opponent fire off the flame charge. Flame charge does secure the knockout, but Gothitelle says, don't worry, bro. I've got your back. We fire off the double super effective rock slide, and despite a huge amount of BS lag, we still take the dub. In the next battle, we see Public Enemy number 1. Dreadful for Gothitelle, but 2 very good responses in the back. We say switch into the Quagman, drawing out Trevenant. If you're wondering what that weird animation is, that is Sucker Punch. So if you are a newer battler and you're looking to build some meta teams, make sure they're on the right moveset. Trevenant, a very good Pokemon if you're running Shadow Claw. Sucker Punch certainly isn't it. Sucker Punch and Shadow Claw are actually quite similar moves. Shadow Claw is 4 EPT, whereas Sucker Punch is 3.5. Trevenant also is a Ghost type, which would get same type attack bonus on the Shadow Claws. This opponent's actually running Foul Play as well, which means they're actually going to lose Switch, and that is going to be game over. We can just realign, send out Gothitelle into this Altaria, and when Bastiodon does return, it's about to be absolutely walled by Golem. We tank the Sky Attack, farm up, throw the Rock Slide. Rock Slide forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We pivot into Golem. The opponent goes to the classic U-switch, I-switch, sending out Public Enemy number 1, and this is the most beautiful sight you will ever see. Earthquake secures the knockout. Bastiodon straight in and straight out. Golem reaches the Ancient Power on the CMP tie and pulls off yet another clutch sweep. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead Gothitelle into Gramble. The battle of the fast move pressure. We save switch into the Quagman, drawing out Jumpluff. This one on Bullet Seed, which of course is terrible for us as these Bullet Seeds are double super effective. Although there are a few positives. We landed the Stone Edge, which did a lot of damage to the bulky Jumpluff, and we've baited it out so Golem doesn't have to see it, as we certainly don't fancy the smoke. Hopefully we can Confusion Farm down before the opponent reaches a charge move. The opponent reaches the last second charge move. Good shield as that Acrobatics probably would have one-shot. Back out comes Gramble. Gramble probably shields, as Charmers pretty much shield anything we fire off the first rock slide. Gothitelle able to reach rock slide. Number 2, is the opponent going to go all in on their Charmer? Of course they are, because who doesn't when they run a toxic nonsense Pokemon? It's now all down to Golem. Golem going to have to respect the potential close combat. The opponent fire off the play rough. The opponent stays in, gives a huge mod shot farm down, which is a massive mistake. The opponent fucked about. They found out if they would have instantly pivoted into Machamp, they would have won, but Golem going to pick up yet another big boom. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Gothitelle into Galvantula. Holy, look at the confusion damage. Galvantula, very glassy. Moises farms up, makes a very nice catch onto the Quagman. The opponent tries their luck at making an Aqua Tail catch onto a Azumarill. Trainer, Moises, very talented, and he was never going to throw an alignment. That Galvantula was actually running cross poison as well, as Lunge would have definitely done more damage than that. Moises looking to realign, shields up the Ice Beam, returns fire with the Stone Edge, forcing a Protect Shield back. Quagman not going to reach the next Stone Edge, so Moises just settles for the Aqua Tail, hoping the opponent has lost track, and they have. Once again, Moises has forced the opponent all shields down, giving Golem another opportunity to sweep. We send back in Gothitelle. Gothitelle looks for the confusion farm down. We should tank an Ice Beam. Ice Beam actually gets us a lot lower than I expected. Moises does get the full confusion farm down. We leave with the Rock Slide. I don't believe the opponent sent out Galvantula. They actually make a very nice catch, catching onto Unova Stunfisk. Then pivot out into Galvantula. Galvantula instantly greeted with the Ancient Power. Golem's bulk about to be put to the test. We see the instant no shield deployed. Oh, it didn't do anywhere near as much as I was expecting. Moises was like, bro, what are you worried about? This is game over. We easily survived the Mud Bomb. We then farm up, shield the next Mud Bomb, fire off the Earthquake, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle. Beautiful. Metachan. We see the battle of the Psychic types. Unfortunately for the opponent, they're half fighting, so these are going to be neutral, whereas we're going to resist their quick move counter. The opponent fires off the Ice Punch on alignment. Moises again says thank you very much for the free confusion. We're then going to fire off the Psychic. This Metachan evidently more XL than the last one, as it didn't quite one-shot. So we say switch into the Quagman, tank the Ice Punch. The opponent lets us Mud Shot, farm them down, and then send out Gligar. Again, a matchup we'll have an Aqua Tail is very clutch, as Aqua Tail is going to two-shot. Despite us not actually hitting all the bubbles, the opponent then play to the CMP tie. They do not win. Shout out Home Size Henry for that quote. We're getting all the quotes in today and having a lot of fun in this shoutcast. The opponent fires off the Aerial Ace, securing the knockout. Again, we've got shield advantage, and we're going to send out Golem. Moises again throws on the CMP tie. The opponent getting a real lesson in CMP ties. No, it's Defense Deoxys. It looks like Moises is doing his very best impersonation of myself, as I always reverse 2 shield flex. We fire off the Ancient Power, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Moises still has 2 Protect Shields. We shield up the Thunderbolt. Can we win this game? Rock Slide certainly isn't going to do enough damage. Rock Slide does around 50% of the remainder of their health. The opponent throws another charge move. We're not going to shield this up. Are they in Ancient Power range? Ancient Power, not the best move. Is Moises going to win this game? Who was worried? Evidently I was, but Moises wasn't, and he pulls off yet another dub. Unfortunately, heading into the final battle of the video, we see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death. The opponent farm up some energy, attempt to make an Aqua Tail catch onto a Azumarill, of course. We're around 23 minutes in. We know Moises was never throwing that. He holds his energy, fires off the Stone Edge into a Azumarill, and he's certainly looking to realign. We correctly shot at the play rough, throw 1 Mud Shot and the Stone Edge for optimal fast move timing. So 2 turn into 3 turn. You want to throw 1, 4 or 7 all the way. Moises gets a huge Mud Shot farm down, so Talonflame certainly won't be returning. Trainer, what's your third? Okay, the opponent does send out Talonflame. Moises says thank you very much. We fire off the Aqua Tail, forcing a Protect Shield. Moises happy with the Quagman's contribution. Opts to let it go down, but the opponent baits and then snipe with Wigglytuff. The Flame Charge bait was one of the biggest potato plays I've ever seen, but the opponent did redeem themselves with a very heads-up snipe, sniping our Quagman with a whole heap of energy. Moises sent out Gothitelle, forced the opponent's final protection with the instant pivot into Golem, go straight for the Ancient Power. I cannot believe Ancient Power one-shots from that range. I don't know why I'm still doubting Golem, as Golem has put on a clinic today, and the opponent is going to concede the match. Huge shout out to Moises. That was without a doubt one of the most incredibly fun shoutcasts I've ever had the pleasure of shoutcasting. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new. Consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. Link to battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.